Yo, what's up? Back on the HHR. This video is the eBay intake setup right and long-term review. I've had this in the car for 20,000 miles now, and I've never set off the alleged lien code that's talked about in the comments of my last video about the eBay intake setup. But, however, I did recently set the code off when I switched intake filters to a clean K&N filter. And then I was like, well, what's going on here? So I want to address the issue. It's not that you're getting too much air. Somebody said in some of the comments in the HHR forums, you're getting too much air. You're not really getting too much air. It's really that you're changing the dynamic of your engine's probably got enough miles or you're not changing your oil early enough, but you're getting a little crankcase blow by or getting a little blow by, and it's cutting through here, and then it's building up on your sensor, or it's just been building up over time on your sensor. So what I did is I removed this, I plugged this off, I let this go. Well, honestly, it's just going that way. I don't have you should get a crankcase oil bypass or catch can. That's what it is. Catch can, oil catch can. So you want to get one of those. You can get them off eBay really cheap. Then you could install it over here and mount it. But I have a K&N filter on here now. I have the reflective tape to help with the temps. And I fixed the sensor problem. It's running lean. Because if you pull this all apart and you look inside here, you'll see oil buildup on here, and you'll see it when you pull this out, you'll see it on the end of the sensor. So you want to take something simple like mass airflow cleaner. You want to take that and just spray in there, let it dry, then replug everything in and clean this tube out. Your problem will go away. I mean, my problem went away. Then I made sure that these didn't plug up anymore. I decided not to. I'm going to do oil catch can. Don't recommend running it to your fender. I just feel like I'm in Michigan, so if I oil down my body, maybe it'll keep it from rusting. Yeah, that's my logic. I'm horrible. But anyways, this air intake has worked great. This is the way I route it. This is the direction I route it. If you're doing this, you're going to run into a lack of slack. It's going to put a lot of pressure on here, so you might want to take this engine harness, pull it forward, zip tie it, or remount it. As you can see, I pulled off that mount right there. So I think I'm going to mount it up a little bit higher, but you want to pay attention to slack here, because you're fighting that, and then you're using every bit of the tube setting up the right way to be able to get that. I sunk mine down here because it's still getting the cold air, because the factory unit, like my original video about this eBay unit, this sounds cool, but the factory unit with a K&N, so put a K&N drop in the factory unit, and then if you make sure you have your nylon tube, your tube that runs here, which is actually now my cold air intake for my Miata, but it runs through here, you can run a secondary tube or a longer tube, and then if you look down there, you got tons of cold air. So the factory unit is really fully functional, but if you want to get real serious, remove this, and then you'll get air from there, and then run your hose down here, and you could run one hose right there, and if you want to cool your brakes, you can run another hose, and then you can cut a vent in the fender lining here, and you can run a hose there and cut a vent there. You can actually run vents to your brakes. That's what they do with race cars, but it depends on how you drive your HHR. Mine, as you know, if you look at my setup, it gets used for 2 trails and stuff like that. Yes, it actually survives. Yes, it's actually an active vehicle. Go check my camping and my touring trips. Is my earliest videos. It's actually, this started about the HHR. I am a autocross track guy, drift guy, 90s JDM guy, so my channel is also about that, but it's all about different cars, but also goofy cars like this. But subscribe to my channel if you like what you see. That's my air intake setup. The factory setup works great. So if you actually listen and watch this video, the factory intake is more functional with a K&N drop-in, with a proper routing all the way down to the fog light. You get cold air. You can also route to this, and I'm already pulling air up in there with this setup. So this is the best setup I can get while getting the cool noise. I don't think there'd be much of a horsepower difference. A little bit in change, and usually the throttle response. But this is more just for fun. For you guys out there having fun with your car, I run a slightly aftermarket exhaust, which is still quiet, so I enjoy intake noises more. I love intake noises. I want to put ITBs, individual throttle bodies, on that. That's how much I like them. Or a turbo and just go all in. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Tell me what you think of my air intake setup. Do you like it? Is it dumb? I don't care. Leave whatever comment you want.